Welcome to the It's Not Me, It's You podcast, a space where we explore the questions couples often avoid in their relationships.
Not the easy ones, the uncomfortable ones that sit quietly under the surface.
Before we chat, a quick note. If you're someone who finds these conversations helpful,
But still notices the same patterns showing up in your life or relationships, we've opened a small number of private reflection sessions.
check the link for details. Also, just to say, there is no right and wrong here.
This is simply an opportunity for us and you to travel through the tougher questions that come up from time to time, the ones we're often too afraid to ask. What's the difference between keeping the peace and avoiding the truth?
Wow.
Very much like that little, I didn't even know that question was coming next.
Yeah, no, exactly. So interesting. Keeping the peace and avoiding the truth. Dance break. Two sides of the same coin or different? What do you guys think? How would you even word that? Like, how do you speak? You know, like it comes back down to communication style, right? Like if you feel like you're just keeping the peace, well, why do you feel that if I say or do or speak up about something, why would that break the peace? What would happen? Why would that disrupt the peace? Is it because the peace is always disruptive because your partner doesn't really have the capacity to approach something with a grounded, peaceful, calm level head? Or is it because actually it is something really big that you need to discuss and you know that it's going to have that negative kind of communication or conversation?
Well, maybe sometimes avoiding the truth is keeping the peace, but it's an unhealthy peace.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's
It's a fake peace,
it's a fake
potentially.
peace.
Interesting. And avoiding the truth. So that also, for me, says like, are you avoiding the truth to yourself? Or is that also to your partner? Because a lot of the times, like sometimes you might need to have a conversation, but actually it might be more with you than it is. You're not at peace with something. You're avoiding the truth about a situation. And it's not necessarily the outward piece or perception of the conversation that needs to be had with the partner.
But also, where's the balance, right? And what I mean by that is sometimes, yeah, it's important to share what you're feeling and so on. But then is there a point that it becomes too much? And then you're like, are you always going on at me about something? Like, why are you such a nitpicker?
Why do you want me to do it? You're such a nitpicker.
Just always got something to. Am I doing anything right in this relationship? And you get
And that's a great awareness as well, because you may feel that you just there's always on at you, and there might be. So why is that? Is that because you're always doing something wrong? But what is wrong? Or is it just that partner is really hypercritical? Because also you need a bit of give and take with things. Like nobody's perfect, so you need to have that level of understanding.
Absolutely. Let us know your thoughts.
Let us know your thoughts.
How do you know when silence is starting to turn into resentment?
Oh wow! Hey, yay.
Arriba, underlay. Goodness me. Resentment
Silence
is the
and
big R.
resentment.
The big R. Goodness
yeah.
me, man.
How do you get to that place, and how do you come back from it?
You know, ironically, coming out of the last question about waiting for things to get heavy before you say something, it's often not clear until it's so heavy and present.
Right.
You know, that you got this big old elephant sat on your sofa watching Netflix.
With you.
With you.
Controlling the channels. You're literally controlling your whole thought process around that time.
There's those little tiny micro resentments that build and build and build.
Yeah.
So like if you can find a way maybe to check in, you know, every week, every fortnight, what's going on? Have I upset you? Is there something I've done that's
great.
Yeah.
A great idea. The weekly check-in you just said. That's brilliant. Just literally 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Again, do it on a walk. Do it when you're driving. When you're driving in the car, something happens, right? Because you're both looking forward.
Yeah.
You can say a lot more in a car drive than what maybe you can say like over the dining table, for example, or when you're sat watching Netflix, because Netflix becomes a form of avoidance, right? Let's just put the TV on. Let's just sit on our phones and scroll, and we're not really communicating anymore. So let's have that conversation when you're going for a walk, or you're just changing the environment, because change of environment is really, really powerful.
It's so important. Because if you have a big blow up in the living room or in the spaces that you're going to be in all the time, you leave a little marker. And
Yeah.
and so every time you go in that room, you're triggered. That's where we had that blow up. So at least if it's on some random walk somewhere,
Yeah, exactly.
you can leave it out there and
Yeah.
and breathe and sort it out and get back to things. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. It's good. Like you say, because like we said earlier, like at the start of this, like don't take the energy. Just get it out your system, have that vent if you can. But then this question is talking about silence. We've been silent for so long, not talking about the stuff that there's so much resentment.
And you know, it may be healthy to allow for that silence because we all process over different timescales.
Yes.
And so it's about how we're interpreting that, what our lens is doing to us. Give people space and time to just figure things out, right? And
Yeah.
I've done that loads where I'm just like, all right, I'm ready, let's go, let's talk.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm still trying to process.
Exactly. Like I can't look at you right now.
Process.
I'm in the processing phase.
I can't look at you right now. You.
Come back in 3 days.
It's serious.
It's about limits and knowing what it is
Sorry,
that you can or can't speak about right now.
where is the
because-
cutoff though?
Well,
All
what
right,
is-
I've waited.
how long's
I've
a
waited
piece of
3
string?
days.
How long's a piece of string?
Can we talk now? It's
It's
3 days.
impossible.
3 weeks. Can we talk now? Nah, not ready.
Not ready. Not ready.
Processing.
So that's maybe going to be a decision for you.
3 years
I
down the line.
can't keep being frozen out. I can't keep being silenced, and I need to speak about it. 3 weeks, I would suggest, is like enough time. But it depends what's happened, right? It depends what's happened. If
Hence this
if
is the thing.
something huge has happened, you may need to just step away from that person for a while.
Someone catches their partner kissing someone at work,
Mm.
and you think, I don't want to end the marriage over a kiss, but I'm fuming.
Yeah,
Like, how did we even get there?
exactly.
And this is real stuff happening to
yeah.
clients.
Yeah.
How did we even get there? You know, I'm not ready after 3 months to even think about it again, let alone have a conversation about it.
Yeah.
3 years, people holding on to things like that.
Yeah.
And it's okay. It takes as long as it takes.
It does, yeah. But in that 3 years, what is happening? Have you separated? Have you moved on? Have you decided to call it a day with your partner? Like, it's just about knowing what you need or want from the situation and how it's going to be resolved for you. Because in that example you just gave, what the partner that kissed that person might see it a certain way, but you actually see it in a very different way, because obviously like that person did it. So you also need to ask, why did you think it was okay? What happened to make you want to approach that person that way and do that thing?
Yeah, there might be.
So it's a wider conversation,
Yeah,
much wider conversation that needs to be had.
absolutely. Sorry to cut you.
No, go ahead.
You know, no, absolutely. And you know, there might be, hey, there was mistletoe. It's that time of
That's all
year.
right then. There's mistletoe in February.
There's mistletoe. It's okay. Like, why are we taking 3 months to discuss this?
Which comes back to your non-negotiables. Like, what are your non-negotiables? And have that conversation early on, because you've openly said it. I will not put up with any of that stuff.
Partner just walking around with mistletoe in their back pocket. It's like, yeah.
It's April the 1st, April Fool's. It didn't mean anything. Mistletoe, yes. Don't do that. That's a red flag.
We've put together a short guide with 50 questions couples avoid.
Let us know which really resonates and how you get on with them.
Everyone's relationship and situation is different, so have fun using them as a guide for getting your questions answered in your relationship.
And remember to ask yourself the same questions too. Do you feel this relationship is one-sided? Wow, what does one-sided mean to you? Like, tell us.
Can I just say, these are some really good questions.
Yeah,
right now.
really good questions.
Thank you for sharing with us. And
Yeah.
at any stage, please drop your questions in the comments or DM us or send them through, and we will unpack them.
Absolutely. Sometimes it can be a bit daunting to maybe like put them on the post. So, you know, like people do DM us the questions, and we really, really appreciate that, because, you know, we answer them and we take everything seriously, because if someone is asking a question, it means it's there for them to be answered. So we might just be able to help with that. So yeah, one-sided relationship, what might that look like? I think that could be different for everybody.
Often clients tell me, I feel like I'm running the household, I'm doing all the work, I'm managing the money, and they're not doing enough. I don't feel supported. I'm raising the children and they don't see it. I tell them, they don't do anything. They expect me to be tougher and all this kind of stuff. And it's hard to comment on that kind of scenario, because it will vary so much from dynamic to dynamic, relationship to relationship.
Yeah.
How are you communicating it? What support do you need? Because there is, again, like we said in one of our previous seasons, you should know. You should know if you're giving me too much, if I'm like...
You're a mind reader.
Again, it comes back to how I believe, are you also owning your responsibility to communicate how you're feeling?
Mm-hmm.
How are you letting that person know? And are you also asking them? We went to Mel Robbins during the tour of Sydney and this part of the world.
Yep.
And the Sydney tour, Australia tour.
Yep.
And we had the conversation about let them, let you, jealousy, and so on. And we interviewed Mel. We said, Mel, what thing did you not do with your partner?
Yeah.
And she was like, I didn't ask him how he was doing. I didn't care.
Yeah.
I was too caught up in what I was doing, what I needed, and so on. And we see that so often in relationships. People just caught up in what they need, and they're not making time to ask, well, what do you need?
Yeah.
How can I support you more? What would that look like?
I'm really glad you mentioned that, because Mel shared with us, like her experience, a few years ago in her relationship, in her marriage. They were going through a lot of financial stress and bankruptcy and business that didn't work. She didn't want to know. She didn't ask him anything about it because she didn't want to know. She couldn't handle it because there was a lot going on and a lot of debt and instability with the family and mortgages and things to pay. But she said something that was like a train that really hit. She said, what we do is we turn away from the one person that we should be leaning into to fix things. But when we're in a crisis or in a struggle, we turn away from that person. We turn away from the one person that we should be leaning in to fix it. And that was huge, because it's so true. We see that so many times. You might have personal experience of that. You may have seen a friend or family member go through it. You turn against that person who is the one person that you need to be fixing the situation with, but you turned away from it because it's either too big for you to deal with, or you really don't want to know the real extent of the situation, because again, it's a lot to deal with, and it might mean some really uncomfortable conversations, and it will probably mean some really challenging times ahead. But you're already in a challenging time because you know that there's major stress in your relationship, but you're still not addressing it. So in that situation, your partner may also feel it's very one-sided, because your partner may be carrying the burden of a huge thing that's going on, and you may feel like it's one-sided because you're really stressed because your partner has got your family in a situation, but until you come together, you're not able to really address it to kind of even out the one-sidedness.
So why do you feel we turn away? Why is it hard for us to go to that person and have that conversation, but easy to go everywhere else? And like you said, some people are just afraid. Some people are, it's familiar. It's familiar to have this conflict, this energy there. That's what love is to them.
Yeah.
And, we saw it in reality TV again, but still it shows up. I'm not going to mention their names, but a couple who, everyone's going fine for absolute, for 90% of the program. And then when it came time to do vows and all that kind of stuff, suddenly some really inconsistent behaviors started to emerge.
Yeah.
And it turned out one person was just putting up with the other person getting what they want, and they were sacrificing their own feelings to make them happy.
Not speaking up for themselves.
Speaking up. So why are you not speaking up sooner? Why are you allowing it to get so, wait until it's so heavy?
Right. What are you afraid of?
What are you afraid of?
Why are you just keeping the peace?
Is that your norm? Is that what you're used to?
Yeah.
Is it what society has told you to do? We have to be the ones that take all the pressure and so on. There's so many questions around it. So we just want to know what it is for you and what your thoughts are and feelings are around that.
Yeah. And also, if this is a conversation that you need to have with your partner, do you feel this relationship is one-sided? Just be okay with the answer, because they may say, yeah, I feel like I'm carrying you right now. And if you're going into it thinking very differently, it might have some conflict in that conversation. But it's okay to have that, because you might go in thinking, I'm perfect. He needs to sort his stuff out. But actually, he might come at you and say, actually, I feel like I'm the only one in it. What are you bringing to the table?
Just gaslight the life out of you. Just actually, thanks for finally recognizing, you're not doing enough.
Thank you for admitting your
I feel seen,
contribution.
finally.
And that's like, that may be a really difficult conversation that it may be not expecting, but that might be something to come out of it. But what I would say is just don't be afraid of it. And if this is happening in your relationship, don't push that person away. Just lean in. Even if you've both kind of decided time is time on this relationship, you may just want to get everything off your chest and also let them say what they need to say as well, because it works both ways. Otherwise, you are in this one-sided relationship and you might be contributing to it if you're not even wanting to hear what your partner's saying. So always look at yourself first. If you've found your way here and you're enjoying the conversations, please subscribe, share the podcast, and turn on notifications so that you don't miss future episodes.
You can also drop your questions in the comments below and we'll do our best to explore them.
Now, let's go.